are cartels like Sinaloa, are they shipping drugs internationally still?
Yeah.
They are. Okay. And now does that come out? Do they have people in South America like in Ecuador like I know they were doing? Is that is that how they get it to like Europe and Australia? Is they have cells like they
In
don't bring it.
Ecuador, Guatemala, Colombia, Peru,
Okay.
hotspots in terms of that
Right.
international trafficking.
Right.
And then also, of course, like I've been reporting on this a lot lately, is how Canada's become a hotspot for this. They're moving
Mhm.
a lot of shit out of Canada just because there's so little oversight. And
Mhm.
so stuff is getting to Australia, stuff is getting to Europe, anywhere that's super lucrative for them. Basically, they have a solid route from a country that doesn't have oversight, so they can move the
Right.
products and not worry about some sort of bust, not worry about getting caught. Yeah.
Do they move coke to Canada to then be shipped elsewhere?
Yes. Yeah,
No
that's a big one.
way.
And
Seriously.
yeah, and they do a lot of stuff to avoid using the United States as like a shipping ground. So
Okay.
even a lot of stuff that's made in uh Mexico, even sometimes, this sounds crazy and no one believes this, but whatever, it will end up in Canada and then be taken from Canada to California to be distributed amongst the United States.
So is that cocaine usually, or is that fentanyl or meth?
It's anything.
So how do they get it to Canada from Mexico, and how do they bypass the United States?
Through the ports, a lot of it is marine, and then also, yeah, a lot of it is marine, and then in Canada they basically just use the land crossings
Wow. So they actually send cocaine from the coast of Mexico somewhere, uh, or
up
up the
into
Pacific,
Vancouver.
up
Yep.
the Pacific, and then through probably like legal ships, right?
Yeah,
Like,
because less than 1% of what comes into the Port of Vancouver is checked by the Port Authority.
wow. And of course they know this. And
Yep.
so it's just a numbers game, right? Like, let's just
Hmm.
shoot as much coke up there and then bring it down over the border south.
Yes. And then you have a lot of longshoremen that are on the payroll because in some way, shape, or another, they know or have been connected to someone in the South Asian gangs or the Chinese gangs, and so these guys will make sure it comes through.
Right. So you think it's a Mexico to Asian gangs, Chinese triad gangs in Vancouver, and then south, whoever, the Hells Angels or whatever. There's a million ways to smuggle piecemeal over the border. You think that's
Yeah.
basically the connection, more or less?
Yeah, and the main gangs that are doing it, like in Canada, that have had ties with the cartels for a long time, since marijuana, because we had BC Bud, right? It was the best
Mm-hmm.
weed in the world. So
Yep.
that's where that relationship started
Mm.
back in the day. It's the United Nations gang and Brothers Keepers, and they've managed to like take their business relationship to the next level at this point.
Yeah, yeah. They moved from second base to hitting a homer with that route. That's crazy. Now, do you think that uh, the way that they're able to corrupt, because we have ports, the port of Los Angeles, you know what I mean? There's plenty of Sinaloans that live in Los Angeles, the port of Long Beach. It's the biggest port like in the Western Hemisphere. But do you think
You
they go?
guys have more port oversight than in Canada.
I see. I see. Do you think Canadians are more? Do you think they're easier to flip to pay off because the drug laws are less strict? You do less time up there and in prisons that are a lot easier than in the US. Do you think that's has something to do with the reason that organized crime has been able to penetrate Canada?
I think the main reason is that there was just no oversight generally from the get go, and like our law enforcement just doesn't have enough manpower and resources to deal with what's going on. And then, yeah, of course, it certainly ties in that our legal system is not a justice system, so you don't really have to do the time for the crime, and
Right.
also people will do what it takes for money. I mean, the earning potential in Canada certainly isn't as high as it is in the US. And
Right.
so organized crime is hot for these people
Yeah.
for sure. And that's why you have a lot of like regular people who are not textbook looking or acting criminals that are the ones driving the stuff across the border into the
Yeah.
US.
Right. Right. So like white Canadians are muling, you know, small amounts of drugs, just like Mexican American through the northern border south, just like Mexican Americans are moving it up north from Tijuana.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. That is
Yeah, and a lot of people
crazy.
didn't believe this reporting at first, and then Cash Patel went out and said they're coming in through the northern border. I
Hmm.
was like, yeah,
Hmm.
I've been saying that.